Last Friday in May, I'm in San Diego area, little bit east, Jamul, Pio Pico RV Resort, part of 1,000 Trails. Well, you're gonna say, what's the big deal, buddy? The big deal is it's last Friday in May, and it's first sunny day that you can sit out. And right now, I'm gonna have coffee. Hey, so being here at 1,000 Trails, I decided to give you my opinion on the system. I am part of some Facebook, RV living pages, and every day somebody has to post a question. 1,000 Trails, pros and cons, yes or no? What do you like, what you know? Well, that's nice, gathering information. But it is so annoying. The same question is over and over. So I'm hoping to give you my view based on math, because I'm the numbers guy. Math is probably the only talent I have, and I see everything in numbers, and that's why it makes this so simple to me. So let me tell you about how I began. February 1st, I quit my job, put the ad to rent my house, found some nice couple. March 1st, they moved in, I moved out into my RV. And today it's full 3 months, or almost full 3 months, of me being full-time. Most of this time I spent at 1,000 Trails parks. I lived in Las Vegas, so when I moved out of my house, I still needed to spend some time in Las Vegas, so I used the 1,000 Trails membership and stayed 2 weeks at Las Vegas 1,000 Trails Park. My plan is 2 weeks in the park and then 1 week out of the system. When 2 weeks expired, I drove to Lake Mead, which is like 25 miles east of that, and spent boondocking a week at Lake Mead. Then I came back to Las Vegas 1,000 Trails RV Park for another 2 weeks. So basically, I spent March in 1,000 Trails, Las Vegas. When that expired, now we are full 5 weeks out. I needed another week to be out of the system. So I spent a few days at casino parking lots in Las Vegas. Every casino has oversized parking for trucks, RVs, and you can spend there day, 2, 3, 4 days. Or if you move from left corner to right corner to north side corner, they're going to think even you're new. Security changes every day, and nobody knows that you are there all the time. So I spent, like I said, 3 nights at Orleans parking lot, spent a couple nights at South Point parking lot, and spent 1 night at Green Valley Ranch in Henderson. So that was a week, and then I drove south on Highway 15 to California, to Acton, 1,000 Trails, Soledad Canyon, which is north 60 miles of LA. Just 60 miles to downtown. Spent there 2 weeks. And again, went back to Las Vegas because I had some meetings and I had some appointments I made, and I had to complete all that. Well, that was almost end of April when I left Las Vegas, and then I made arrangements to use the system the best way. After 1 week boondocking, I scheduled for myself 4 days in Palm Springs. Palm Springs 1,000 Trail RV Park closes on May 15th because of extreme heats in the summer. It's 120 every day, so nobody goes there. That's the spot for the winter. So I spent 4 days there and immediately scheduled next 4 days for Aldiwile, which is nice in the mountains, 7,000 feet elevation. And then another 4 days Menifee, which is just maybe another 40, 50 miles close to Hammett. So when you are using 2 weeks, you need to go out 1 week. If you're doing 4 days, you can use 4 days in this park. Immediately next day you move for 4 days in the other park, 4 days in a third park, 4 days in a fourth park. So after Menifee, which is really nice, looks like you're in some wilderness. And Idlewild, let me tell you, that is like boondocking with hookups. It's in the mountains. It's amazing. Palm Springs 4 days, Idlewild 4 days, Menifee 4 days, and immediately without a break, without needed to be week out, I could book 14 days, so 2 weeks straight, to San Diego EP037 Resort, where I am right now. In this area, there is one more resort. So if I want, I'm gonna go boondocking. There's Sequan Casino close here. You can stay on their parking lot, and then go another 2 weeks to that second park, or come back here to EP037. March, April, May, 3 full months. Pay attention to this number here. I used 66 days out of 90 days. 66 days I stayed in 1,000 Trails RV parks. I even cannot count how many weeks is that. That's close to 10 weeks. So, how much that cost me, you ask? Well, close to nothing. Basic membership is always like $580, $90, but they all the time give you $100 off. So it's never going to cost you more than $500 for a year. With that, you get rights to all parks in one region. I selected, because that's where I lived, Southwest region, which is Nevada, California, Arizona. You can add another region for about $50. Right now it's $54, but I think I paid $49. My plan is to travel from San Diego, and that's why I'm here, my trip is starting, and go along the coast all the way to Vancouver, Canada. Spend some time in British Columbia, and they have 2 resorts over there. And then I'm gonna start coming back down in October for the winter. I spent totally $500 for a membership and $50 for Northwest region, $550. As you see, I used the system for 66 days. Well, that's not even $10 per day. That is like $8 per day. If I do the same in my trip along the Pacific coast for another 3-4 months through September or October, that's gonna be like dirt cheap, like $2 per day or something. Can you beat that? Can you beat $3 per day price? Comparing to regular price for RV parks for about $45, $50. So this my 10 weeks. It's 10 weeks that I spend in their system, or close to 10 weeks, 66 days. It cost me per week $60. A week. That is one night in any resort. Only first 3 months. 3 more months, you can cut all these numbers I gave you in half. I hope you understand now the math of it. The basic price, and I don't advise anybody, they're gonna try to sell you up bigger packages. First minimum price package is about $8,000. I don't want that, and I don't suggest that to anybody. You can buy discounted all those same packages that are $8,000. You can buy it on eBay or from a broker, because that's really, you can, if you're the owner, you can sell that. So people that want to get rid of it, they sell it for about $2,500, $3,000. So you can buy that same package at discounted price. That's why I'm saying don't buy it. But with basic membership, $500 a year that you have to pay, even if you have that 8,000 package, you have to pay every day, every year that. With basic membership, you get this. So you are 2 weeks in the park and 1 week out. If you plan your trip along the area where the parks are, you're gonna use it a lot, like me. I use the maximum of it. I'm robbing them. They're gonna cancel my membership because I'm using it too much. 2 weeks in, 1 week out. That gives you 2/3 of the year. That is 35 weeks. 35 weeks in a year you spend, that's maximum, you spend in RV parks here. And 17 weeks you have to be out. If you are doing 2 week in, 1 week out. If you're doing 4 day, 4 day, 4 day, then there's no break in between. It can be indefinite. You can be 365 days in the parks. Can't beat it for $550. Now, where it gets tricky. Depends on area where you're gonna travel or area where you live, where you're gonna use this membership. I'm full-time, so I'm traveling and I'm adjusting my travel based on where the RV parks are. I'm gonna do some boondocking in some woods, in some national forest, on some lake, but this is my major trip along the Pacific coast because that's where they have all these resorts. Another thing is East Coast. Also, a lot of resorts, and especially in Florida. But if you look on a map, you're going to see that they're marked blue. Green color resorts are these that belong to your basic membership. For blue color resorts, you have to pay extra, another $200. But that gives you, like in Florida, it's a heaven for this. It's called Anchor Resorts, and you can then use them. Some people even jump from green colored resort to blue color resort. 2 weeks, 2 weeks without a break in between. Why? That's not actually meant to be that way, but those are two different computer systems that don't talk together. So blue resorts, they don't know that you just came out yesterday from the green resorts after 14 days. So they're gonna book you in. If you call 800 number and you try operator to do that for you, well, they may be smart enough to say, oh sir, you need a week in between. So some people are gonna tell you that you can do that all the time, but I'm telling you, you cannot. And there are YouTube video recording of conversation with the operator from Thousand Trails saying that that's illegal according to your contract. And then you say, but I did it. And she's going to say, well, you broke your contract and we may now cancel your contract. So do whatever you want, but I'm telling you it's possible and people are doing that. Just because two computer systems don't talk together, it's not the same calendar, so they don't track where you were. If you want to spend winter in Florida, that's that. You buy basic membership 500 and 200 this additional Anchor Resort, that's 700. Let's say you go to Florida after Thanksgiving. So it's December, January, February, March, maybe even April. And then you go back to your Chicago frozen weather. 5 months in Florida for $700. That's like $125 per month. Can you beat that? 125 with full hookups. And somewhere maybe even Wi-Fi and cable. So when you're selecting the plan, look at the map. So for this year, I selected Southwest region and Northwest region because that's my trip from San Diego to Vancouver. I'm gonna be back for the winter, back to Las Vegas, Thousand Trails. I'm gonna spend there a couple of weeks. Go to Arizona, I may come back to Las Vegas, and that's gonna be the end of the year. Next year, I'm planning the trip east. The problem are Midwest and those middle states. You can see there are a couple of resorts in Texas, some in Mississippi, but nothing before the East Coast. So on that my trip, I'm gonna do mostly some boondocking or even pay some RV parks somewhere. But once I hit the East Coast, I'm gonna get the East Coast region and Florida region, including these Anchor parks. So that's gonna be 500 for basic for next year, $50 for one more region, and $200 for this Anchor Resorts. $750. And I'm gonna abuse it in Florida. Abuse it. I think it's an excellent opportunity for us. And they're giving it cheap. I don't understand why. Maybe they're hoping their salespeople are gonna hook you up on some more expensive package, but why when you get this much for almost nothing? If I spend $700, that is $70 a month. That's even less. That's like $60 a month. $60 a month. Okay, I have to do some boondocking here and there. Now, boondocking. There are websites and phone apps that talk about that, gives you spots and locations. You can always use Walmart parking lot, Cracker Barrel parking lot, Home Depot, they let you stay. And like I said, for me, my favorite, casino oversized parking. I stay there for 3-4 days. I go in a poker room and I may even get lucky. Check out some of my videos from poker rooms around the country. You'll see I get lucky often. Can't beat it. So get the 1,000 Trails membership and stop asking that stupid question, because it's really annoying. The math tells you yes, yes, and yes. You see 3 check marks. See you on the trail.